Hi Libra, we are getting to your weeklies, so let's go right into it. So, let's see, what are you going to be dealing with this week? Let your friends help you, and the floating cat reversed. So, if you're going to looking for the friends' help, then you also have to allow yourself to be open to different kind of solutions, to solutions that kind of can get you a little bit out of your way, but at the same time something that you feel that you can ground yourself and you can find yourself as a solution. This is crossing you with it is safe for you to love and open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all, and a counsel. And this is a 9 of fire. And again, this is very similar to this kind of card, let your friends help you. Like, don't you see, these are basically people around you that you trust, that you would share the things and ask them, am I handling this properly? Am I handling this properly? Because it's actually really never really safe to love if you don't feel safe inside. So if you feel that you can kind of handle it no matter what is coming your way, then it becomes safe to love. And you will feel this way because you're getting this enormous support from your environment. And this can also mean giving yourself resources of support, like reading and getting counselors as well. But this also can really mean people around you who will be very helpful. And what are you bringing to this week? You're bringing, keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. You see, it's somebody you just would not even consider for a relationship. It's somebody who maybe already exists in your past, but like there was no possibility. Or this can also mean that certain breakup is still on your mind, and that you're kind of stuck to kind of repeat it, that kind of type of a man. And this can be advising you to kind of please try to kind of see the other kind of like opportunities. This is kind of interesting because bottom of your deck were these three cards: 10 of sky, 5 of sky, and Ace of Pentacles inversed. So let me just explain to you what it would mean if they are like upright. If they were upright, this is what it would mean. Look at this kitty. That's like a death card, right? Sort of like, come on, I'm just going to die. Look at this. There is nothing happening here, and I'm so cornered. Like, look at this poor kitty, and he lost the eye, and it's just like, poor thing is going to lose one of his lives. But the good news is, like, look, the light is coming, and the sun is going to shine, and his little broken tail might get repaired, because this way means, okay, the resurrection started, like the day is being born. And then we have 5 of sky, like reversed, being bullied, and this way, but this way not allowing to be bullied anymore. Kind of like, look, you're like doing the best. When they say when the life hands you lemons, make a lemonade out of it. That's exactly what you're doing. And then you're declaring, because this means starting something new, you're declaring these kind of things from now on are no go for me. Absolutely no go. And this is what you're getting this week. And look at the 4th one. It's like, I'm so fed up with all of that. You guys are kind of deciding. You're literally consciously deciding. And since you're Libra, you can attract things with your mind. And you're dealing with emotional issues over here and over here. So because you have 2 of cups reversed, and then you have cups. Oh my gosh, you have cups. You have emotional issues around you. But you're dealing with them intellectually, because you had this 10 of sky, and you had a 5 of sky as a base over here. So if you make a decision how to go into something, this decision is going to continue throughout your emotional life. So what are you leaving in the past? Oh wow, release your ex. The time has come to clear our energy, and this is matched with the Ace of Sea. So it was some kind of beginning that you're living in the past, and I'm wondering if this, basically what you're still bringing in the present, is like kind of leftover of that kind of relationship, where like now you're healing. But I don't honestly see you being in a horrible pain. it looks like you're like at the very end of it, because that's what it meant, 10 of sky, the worst is over kind of a thing, right? And it sounds to me like, given these two base cards, that this was not a relationship that was like good for you. You felt out of your element, and maybe that's why you have all this kind of like water and sea cards. This is like very hard for Libra to deal with, pure emotion, because Libra is all about beauty, and especially now when you're going through Venus retrograde, that's going to shake quite a bit inside of you, because you'll be feeling that all these old issues that you probably dealt with, and you feel that you dealt with, they're coming back. So let me tell you what is basically the thing you have to focus this week. Look, you have a separation, you have released your ex. Are you guys like still involved someone? Actually, that would make more sense. If this kind of like was beginning of relationship, and now do I want to stay or don't want to stay? Oh my gosh, it sounds like a Libra to me. But here, what is this saying to you? What is the basically weekly please go to? It says separation is a good idea. Resurrecting yourself, look, resurrecting yourself to something else and reinventing is a good idea. Libra, are you coming to this reading with being with someone? I don't know, but it looks that way. Or, somebody will separate from you, but ultimately it's going to end up to be really, really good for you. And for some reason, right, I'm not seeing emotional impact that you're going to be devastated, because you're already coming to this week with that impact. So it's already something that has been happening for you, and it's kind of like bringing that energies. So it's not going to be something that is just something unknown for you. Because here, right, heart-to-heart conversations and honestly discuss your feelings with each other, kind of like merged with Sea Tom, is really interesting, because Sea Tom is reversed. So that's the playful, kind of like playfulness in us, trying to, like, that's the knight in shining armor, sort of like a person that can really come to us. But right, you see, you have that air energy, you have this Libra energy here, right? You're not just going to go for people. You see how much she's trying, or like with every help, so that must be she or the partner. You're going to be very reserved. You're going to really make sure this kind of works for you. And that's why you're probably going to go back and ask your friends for their opinion, and you're going to try to see these things from a different perspective to see if it really works. And if it doesn't work, you're just going to call it quits and move on, because it doesn't look like this works for you anymore. So how do you feel about yourselves, Libras, this week? You feel great. You feel, pay attention to the red flags. You feel that you know what to look for, and you're coming to being like really gorgeous and fabulous and sexy and all this fashion and stuff. So just be careful, Venus retrograde, we might overspend, and there's nothing bad about feeling great, but it's not a great time for the big improvements either. So just be careful. If something seems to be too good to be true, it is too good to be true. So let's see the environment that we have, and truly how we are going to feel this week. Look, we have retreat. It is time to disconnect from the world. And then we have 8 of Earth. So this is a little bit of a grounding energy, because we don't have Earth anywhere else. We have like this emotion everywhere. And so we have like emotions and fires, kind of like really interesting energies. But this is Earth. This could be the influences from the outside that's going to happen, by sort of like learning something new. And this kind of like can go back to kind of like look at things from a different perspective, because this is like a cat taking her kittens to the first trip into like, let's see how to hunt, let's see what is out there. So this can also mean getting your feet wet, sort of like sitting somewhere on the bench or in a cafe and watching how other people do it. Or maybe that's what's going to be your discovery this week. Ask other people, how do you go about meeting somebody? And this whole retreat means, for you to kind of come to your sense. This could be a retreat for an hour, just taking a long bath, with some kind of lavender oil and salts. but merged together, it tells me that you'll be coming up with a new action plan, with something that is very efficient. And this is again going back to your sky cards. And even though it's going to be really grounded in reality, it's going to be mental in decision how to do it. So hopes and fears, flirt, and Sky Queen reversed. So Sky Queen reversed is interesting to come up with flirt. You're going to be a big tease. If you're going to flirt with someone, you literally are actually changing things. Before you were very romantic and you were waiting for these big romantic emotions. Right now you're going to take more active role and be even maybe a touch of bitchy, touch of demanding a little bit more, just to see how people really react, because this is to you just a new discovery. And how you're finishing this week, see, this week is a biggie for you. You have a separation, you have release your ex, right? You have a retreat, and yet you're still going to find the time to flirt. So how is this week finishing? It says forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. And so true, right? You cannot put more than it fits into one cup. If you just have this one cup, there you can kind of get all this love in there, and you're sharing this love with this ex who maybe didn't work and who were taking advantage of you, or with whom just maybe things are not properly done. Then you have to empty that cup for something new to come in there. So you're dealing this week this way, and looks like by cocooning yourself a little bit and going through the kind of mental process, you're going to revisit who you really are, going to kind of like dress your to the nines and kind of like enjoy basically the rest of the week. This is coupled with 4 of C. So here it's like the ultimate card of, let's say, luxury, where, oh my gosh, look, I have 4 lobster and I'm a hungry kitty. I have 4 lobsters, but gosh, I don't want any of them. I don't want to move. I'm so tired. But here you're learning that, you know, it is time to move on. This week is going to be lots of cleansing for you, lots of things that have been going on. It sounds to me that Libras who basically I'm currently connecting with are still dealing with some kind of relationship, and this relationship may have ended, but they didn't end emotionally, so because there are lots of Cups cards. So I want to clarify this 2 of C and see what basically this tells me for Libras for this week. Please clarify. There you go, right? So waiting, melody, and conversation. So did we not have conversations? Yes, we did have conversations here. So you were hoping that things would actually get resolved, but you didn't feel better about that. You started feeling bad about that. And all conversations were leading for you to conclude that, right? Heart-to-heart conversations, that this is really not a good thing for you. So let me see the separation, because this is really important. That's the most important thing you have to accomplish, because this is in a lesson for the week, and also it's a major arcana. So you have, let's move it here so you can see it. So you have this and a death, and I love. Okay, so over here I lost my camera because I got excited and camera got on the floor. So what I was saying is, I love this card. I love how they presented death, right? It shows, like, I mean, don't mourn because of this, because something new is born. Like, one door closes, another one opens, and to you came with separation. So let's clarify that, Libras. Yes. Look. Sweetheart, consolation, and hope. So yeah, you're kind of finishing the hope of something working out. And you're going to look for how to work the best for you to handle it, because you are actually putting an end to it. So Libra, good for you. You're going to be learning new skills. By the end of the week, you'll be flirting. So it looks like you just have to tidy up the loose ends and then move on ahead. I hope you enjoy your weekly forecast. And for private readings, please contact me on my email on my website. And until then, I love you and take care.